good evening, and welcome to the Arts Commission regular meeting of December 7th. We call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. And if you could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and repeat after me. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Fatua, will you call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Mann? Present. Commissioner Lucia? Commissioner Zuckerman? Commissioner Ochoa?
Present.
Commissioner Durderian?
Present.
Vice Chair Wonderchuk?
Present.
Chair Ashendorf?
Present.
We have quorum.
Thank you very much. All right, the first items on the agenda this evening are presentations. And commissioners, we'll hear from our presentations, and we will have one photo opportunity, and we'll ask you to save any of your comments relative to the presentations until after everyone is completed. So first, I'd like to introduce Ms. Villasenor for our first presentation.
Thank you, Chair Ashendorf. Tonight, we have a very special certificate of appreciation to present about a project recently completed by a local artist. Just a little bit of background for you tonight. In 2005, Costa Mesa artist Peggy Gardner was commissioned by the Historical Preservation Committee to create the mural referred to as Home on the Range mural, located across the 57-foot cinder block wall on Placentia Avenue between Fire Station 4 and the city's courtyard, across the street from Estancia High School. The mural depicts the evolving history surrounding Fairview Park. The mural was completed in 2008. In 2021, the Cultural Arts Committee then, the Historical Preservation Committee, and the Costa Mesa Historical Society embarked on a partnership to restore the Home on the Range mural. The mural's depiction of history reaches back to 1500 BC and features Texic-speaking Native Americans that settled in the region. It also displays the Diego Sepulveda adobe, which was built as an outpost for the Mission San Juan Capistrano around 1820 AD, as well as the farmers and their livestock that populated the area. The Home on the Range mural faded over the years and was in need of restoration. We were very fortunate enough to find a local artist to restore the mural, which just so happened to be Becky Feltman, Peggy Gardner's daughter. So it was a very special mural restoration for both the city and our local artist. So we are very fortunate to have the certificate of appreciation tonight for Miss Becky Feltman, and she also had a handful of volunteer team members that helped her along the way. So at this time, I would like to invite the commission to come down and take a picture with Miss Becky Feltman and her team.
Thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is the presentation of the Arts Grants Program awardee, Costa Mesa High School. Ms. Garner?
I'm just going to set that up, and I'm going to have Cynthia come up.
Wow, so fancy. Okay, sounds great. I can see. Yeah, great. All right. Thank you for having me. My name is Cynthia Lawrence, and today I am representing, I'm the parent, I'm a parent booster representing the boosters for the instrumental program at Costa Mesa High School. And this is our follow-up to the grant that you guys granted us for our 2023 Mesa Jazz Festival. I wanted to go over that a little bit, and then just a little bit about the program at Costa Mesa. Next slide, please. Okay. Yep, that's the one. Before I begin, just wanted to review the programs that we have at Costa Mesa High School. So I have a daughter. She's a senior this year. She's graduating. My son graduated 2 years ago. Both of them have participated at the arts at Costa Mesa, and I could not be happier with what that has given them. My daughter is drum major. She's in the marching band. She's also in jazz band and orchestra, and she does theater tech. My son did drama, and he also sang with the choirs there under Mr. Linfors. And the arts education that they got and what they have brought from that, they will carry with them their entire lives. So we have 3 levels of band for the, and most of you probably know, but Costa Mesa High School is a combined middle school, high school. So we have 7th, 8th middle school, 9th through 12th. So for the middle school, we have beginning and intermediate band, and if they're advanced enough by the time they hit 8th grade, they can actually start in marching band and advanced band. So that means that if you're going to Costa Mesa High School, you can go through 5 years of marching band, which is pretty incredible. We have the marching band, which marches in the fall. We have color guard and winter guard. Color guard, fall. Winter guard, same thing, but for spring. We have 2 levels of jazz band, a drum line, beginning strings and orchestra, and we serve about 250 students through grades 7th to 12th. Next slide, please. Okay, so last May was our 6th annual Mesa Jazz Festival, and what this does is it brings high school jazz bands from area high schools together to Costa Mesa High School. They get a chance to perform 2 or 3 songs. Those songs or those performances are adjudicated by professionals on their playing techniques. They're given feedback on that, and then they go through clinics based on their instruments. So they have a rhythm clinic, a brass clinic, and then a saxophone clinic. And then they are also able to collaborate with and see the performances of other high schools. So we had, let's see, this was last May, so I have to remember this. So we had 8 jazz groups, Costa Mesa, Estancia, Marina, Edison, Fountain Valley, Huntington Beach. About 130 students, and then 4 judges adjudicators. And then we actually had 12 band directors come. And of those band directors, 3 were brand new. So they got a chance to collaborate with each other and experience band directors and really, get to know each other. And then it was a free all-day event for the public. So we had about 200, mostly parents, but we did have a few public members come in. And then all of that was run by 25 volunteers from our band booster. So it was a great day. Next slide. Okay, so these are, you guys can see these, right? So these are just a few of the pictures from the performances of just 3 of the groups there. So they get up on the beautiful Costa Mesa High School stage. They play their songs for the judges. They stop. There is this just terrifying 5 minutes where the judges, you can hear them writing down their comments. And then the judges go up on stage with them, and they spend about 10, 15 minutes really giving them feedback on the performances that they just saw. Next slide, please. And then midday, they go into these clinics. I actually only got pictures of 2 of the clinics. The saxophone one, which is on the left, and then the rhythm one, which was on stage. And then after the clinics, we have a lunch break, and the students, in addition to eating lunch, we do what we call the unofficial clinic, and they just do a jam session together. And so you'll see this is the kind of the beginning of it, this there. The students finish their lunch, and then they go over there and pretty soon you've got 100 kids jamming together in the courtyard of Costa Mesa Middle School. It's pretty amazing. Next slide, please. And then I put this one, just, the collaboration, just showing we've got on the bottom picture there, the music teachers having lunch together, and then the students jamming, and then, of course, our wonderful volunteers, because we would not be able to do anything without the wonderful volunteers. And next slide. Okay. And then I just put this slide together today just to kind of show you where we're at the Mesa Instrumental Program. So after 34 amazing years, Mrs. Gilbo retired, Sandy Gilbo, but they hired the director of our instrumental music program, Zaid Patarse, Mr. B. He's actually a Costa Mesa High School graduate, and then he also graduated from Vanguard, and then his credential and master's is from Chapman. So he is a local kid who grew up through our programs, and now he's back teaching, and he's wonderful. We absolutely love him. Our field show, we broke 80 on our score this year. That was the band's goal, that they collaboratively said together, we want to break 80. It had never been done by a band in the regular show, or the regular non-championship. But they broke it, and then they went on to get 82.9 for their final one in the championship. So they were pretty stoked. Our Winter Guard has qualified for the Color Guard World Championships, and they are hopefully going to be traveling to Dayton, Ohio this spring to represent Costa Mesa. And let's see what else. We hosted in October, which is why I couldn't do the presentation in October. We hosted the 36th annual South Coast Invitational Marching Band Tournament, where we had 19 bands and thousands of spectators that we hosted, which was wonderful. And then we're finishing up our fall semester. We've got a concert next week, as well as lots of local band caroling in the neighborhoods and that type of thing. And then we will launch into spring, Drumline Winter Guard Orchestra, and then the pit orchestra for the Drowsy Chaperone, which is in collaboration with Mesa Drama. So that is us. And then last slide. And then I always put this, because I just think this represents what we do really well in Costa Mesa, between the schools as well as the city. If you want to have a world-class city of the arts, then we need to invest in the kids, for not only the performers, but also the audience as well. And that's what I've got. So if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I love the programs at Mesa.
Thank you very much for your time and for coming to us tonight to make the presentation. Appreciate it.
You're most welcome. And now I'm actually headed back to Mesa because it is the last Christmas or holiday choir concert for Mr. Lindfors, who is our longtime choir teacher, who is retiring this year. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
All right. Next, we'd like to welcome up the Arts Grants Program awardee, Wild and Environmental Film Festival.
Hi, good evening. Chair Aschendorf and Vice Chair Wondercheck, thank you. Okay, and so I did click this to advance? Right, okay. My name is Barbara Morihiro. I'm here on behalf of our Committee for the Wild and Scenic Environmental Film Festival of Costa Mesa, and I have a presentation of our recent film festival. So it was a cloudy Saturday, September 30th, with some drizzles and actually fighter jets flying overhead, an unusual environment for our 5th annual Wild and Scenic Environmental Film Festival here in a usually quiet corner of Costa Mesa. This distinctive film festival started over 20 years ago in Nevada City in Grass Valley in Northern California, and every year they feature over 100 award-winning documentary films to raise awareness and promote activism for a variety of environmental issues. As a host of the On Tour program, offered by the Wild and Scenic Film Organization, our committee had access to this large collection of films, and we selected the ones that best fit our interests and concerns about the environment. This generous grant from the Costa Mesa Arts Commission covered the cost of the fees necessary to screen these films and to host the guest filmmakers. And in this photo is, we had a guest photographer who took some of the photos, and our chair of the festival, Linda Sperry, who couldn't make it tonight. As a special bonus this year, in addition to a variety of refreshments and displays from local environmental groups, we had an exhibit of beautiful photographs by professional Ukrainian photographer Irina Obukovska. Before the war in Ukraine, she had traveled all around the world as a professional photographer. She's currently here in Orange County as a refugee, and we were honored to share some of her incredible artwork. We had an afternoon matinee and an evening screening. This year's film selection highlighted environmental issues such as the importance of falconers and how they help the species recover from the threats of DDT in a film called Game Hawker. Another film, Symbiosis, documented the connection of microbes with the health of bees and how agrochemicals were a threat to that essential connection. And Rock Pool Waltz was a charming film about a boy in Australia who befriends an octopus during the COVID lockdown. We had a feature film called The Scale of Hope, and it followed Molly Kawahata, a climate advisor to the Obama White House, who worked hard on policies of climate change while privately managing a bipolar diagnosis and pursuing her passion for ice climbing. Her personal challenges and love of nature further motivated her environmental awareness and action. The film The Dukkha transported us to a remote region of Mongolia and some of the last nomadic reindeer herders in the world. Each of the films showcased how a relationship with the natural world can spark a passion to preserve these special wonders, whether it's an octopus, falcons, reindeer, bees, or the incredible beauty of remote Alaska. These special connections with nature promote interest to find ways that these beautiful experiences can continue for others to enjoy. And these inspiring documentary films were a unique art form that not only are a feast for the eyes, but use their art to connect with the viewer, with them, and motivate them to care about our world. We were fortunate to have two of the filmmakers, Josh Bones Murphy from The Scale of Hope and Carmen Morrow from The Dukkha, participate in an interview with journalist Andrea Plate, which allowed our audience to learn more about the challenges and motivation of these artists and how their creative efforts can make a positive impact on the world. And Josh answered questions about capturing the dramatic film footage of the climbers in steep, icy mountains in remote Alaska, and Carmen shared her experience of traveling to northern Mongolia to film these nomadic herders that live with their wild reindeer. And to give you a taste of our film festival, enjoy this virtual box of popcorn and a trailer from our flagship Wild and Scenic Film Festival. So I just wanted to thank the Arts Commission again for this generous grant and behalf of our committee, we thank all of you for allowing us to present some of these amazing films. And if you ever get a chance to go to the Wild and Scenic Film Festival up in Grass Valley, Nevada City, I think this year in 2024, it's in February. It's an incredible opportunity. The two towns set up venues all over, and they show several films at a time and all over these cities, and it's all films that are with a theme of, environmental activism, nature. It's amazing. So, okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Breathtaking, heartwarming. Appreciate it. We now have a presentation by Tamara Fairbanks. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. And thank you for having me here again to just highlight all of the wonderful things that we're doing in Newport Mesa. And it's been a crazy fall and winter season, and we can't wait to spring and bounce into the spring season as well. So in my presentation, I'm going zone by zone, since we have the 4 zones of our district. And of course, I will start with the Costa Mesa zone. And these are just a list of all of our events, and that's also included in the newsletter that I presented to you guys. But last week, we had our Mesa Wonderland, which at Costa Mesa High School, which features all of our elementary, middle school, and high school students. And that was a wonderful just event for families, showcasing. You had students, you had the art department showcasing their art. We had pictures with Santa. We had music. It was complete chaos and joy, and in a great arts environment last week. And then our upcoming Costa Mesa Zone concerts, especially with our elementary schools, are listed on a PowerPoint, but just to highlight some of our schools, which are also participating in the Snoopy House as well. Kellybrook Elementary has their TK through 6 concert next Wednesday, and just starting next week, for the next 2 weeks, we will be doing holiday concerts. So every day there's a holiday concert for anyone to peruse throughout our entire school district. In the CDM zone, we have some upcoming. We just finished the Corona Del Mar Christmas Walk, and we had schools performing at the Corona Del Mar Branch Library there, and which ended up being a great opportunity just to interact with the community and those walking along. We also, in our Estancia zone, upcoming at Costa Mesa High School, at Estancia High School and Tewinkle, this week we have our concerts for Estancia High School for their instrumental program. So we have the winter concert tomorrow evening, if you have time available, at Estancia High School for their string orchestra concert and their jazz band concert, as well as some upcoming concerts. Today, there was a joint concert between Estancia and Tewinkle to just solidify those community ties between the two school sites. And then next week, you can see Estancia's jazz band at the John Wayne Airport. So they have a performance on Friday morning at the John Wayne Airport. In our harbor zone, and our harbor zone is unique because because many of our harbor zone schools are split between Costa Mesa and Newport Beach. So our harbor high school performances, since our Harbor High School venue is being renovated, they're actually hosting their concerts at St. Andrew's Church in Newport Beach, which is directly across the street from the high school. And this past weekend, the Harbor High School, both the choir and the band, joined Vanguard University's ensembles to perform at their holiday concerts. And then tomorrow night, Harbor High School's orchestra will be performing also with Vanguard in their winter instrumental concert. This year has been a really great opportunity. Due to Prop 28, we have a lot of new teachers, and due to retirements and transitions, we have more teachers servicing our students in certain venues. So we have a theater teacher now serving both Estancia and T. Winkle High School. And in order to grow that program just in time for the Estancia Theater to be built so we can have a strong, robust theater program. And so that led to us having some really good, thorough staff development. And so our visual art teachers spent the day at the Bowers Museum. And they were able to go do a walking tour of the Hokusai exhibit, as well as just to see it from the perspective of how they can utilize that for their students' field trips, as well as having an art historian walking along with them to really enhance their knowledge about the art and how they can enhance that experience at the Bowers Museum. Our music ed team did a K through 12 curriculum alignment, and they were in the process of adopting new curriculum for our elementary music programs. Our dance theater, thanks to Seekerstrom Center for the Arts, both dance and theater had a workshop, hands-on workshop with Chantrell Lewis and Caitlin Hargis, and they did a workshop on culturally relevant arts education and how to utilize both dance and theater and drama and movement into their classrooms to inspire them for their students. So this year's staff development was geared to motivate, inspire not only our students, but our teachers as well, and keep going with that why. Why do we do the arts? And to continue that intrinsic why. We have some upcoming events that we're extremely excited about. Our Senior Art Showcase. We are planning on using the Norma Herzog Community Center, and we are really excited about that. That's going to be a great venue for us, as well as our district showcase, which is going to be at OCC's Pavilion, and that is happening in the beginning of May. We have instrumental technique workshops for both our orchestra, high school orchestra, and wind ensemble students. The first week we come back from school, and that's going to be hosted by Orange Coast College. And we have clinicians there to really enhance student technique, and so those students can feel inspired, feel growth, and just be inspired to practice more on their instrument and to know more about their instruments. So there's just a lot of good meat. And we're excited about Costa Mesa Art Venture because thanks to Kelly Marchbank and Kirby Piazza for bringing Costa Mesa students to do art and just to represent our district. And we're hoping for more representation next year. So we're working on that, but we are extremely excited about that event and what more we can do in our community and bridge that community aspect. Our upcoming field trips and assemblies, we have been so blessed to have all of these wonderful arts partners. And so we have so many upcoming assemblies that we're bringing to both young and older students. So Jose Costa's Ballet Contempo, Ballet Folklorico is doing, we are finally, we're starting to schedule out Fridays, almost every Friday in the spring, starting the last week of January onto the middle of May. We're going to have ballet folklorical assemblies for our elementary students and to learn that history of dance and culture. And so we're really excited about that and trying to get more of our schools involved and learning more about our intrinsic California history. As well as Backhouse Dance and their Dance for Kindness program at the elementary level, as well as their residencies at the high school level. They did a wonderful residency at both CDM and Back Bay, and which culminated in an assembly back in September, end of September. And it ends up, and it's a great experience for the dance students because they see themselves as the people on the stage. And the special part about those assemblies is the Q&A of talking to professionals. When did you start dance? Oh, I started in college. I started in high school. I started when I was 2. And they see that variety, and it just sparks that motivation and that interest and that excitement because they see themselves in these professionals that they're interacting with. And of course, we have our rung of field trips with various arts partners like South Coast Repertory, who is also is doing a career fair for our theater tech programs this year in February. And so all of those different events is just giving the richness to all of our kids, because those are the nuggets that the students remember. It's like, I went into this theater and met this person who does props, and I'm like, I didn't think I could do that. And so they see that as the motivation, and which gives all of us as educators that motivation to give them more. As well as through our extended learning opportunities, is we have our after-school musicals with Arts and Learning Conservatory, and we have Active Learning and Dance for Joy, just bringing all kinds of classes and rich experiences to all of our students. And some of our upcoming opportunities, which is at Saddleback College, because of Prop 28, we realized we have a shortage of arts teachers. But we want more, but we have more jobs. And so now we're starting the recruitment at the high school level. This is what you can do. This is how you can be an arts educator. There is a sustainable job force in the arts. And so OCDE is planning on having OC College Fine Arts Fair, where colleges and professional entities are getting together at Saddleback College about the arts and careers in the arts. And we also have a panel of arts coordinators throughout the county who will be speaking at that event, as well as our local colleges have been essential in helping our teachers and our students. So Vanguard University is stepping in again to help educate our music educators with a secondary instrument workshop. So if you're a violinist, you can learn more about voice. If you're a vocalist, you can learn more about trumpet. If you're a percussionist, you can learn more about everything. So, so it's those opportunities, those nuggets, that ends up being our why. And I would be remiss to not talk about the Snoopy House, because we have so many schools participating in the Snoopy House, and this is the schedule of events for Newport Mesa at the Snoopy House. And my teachers, my students, our community members are excited. They look forward to the Snoopy House every year, and that's just a big deal for everyone. But what's more and what is next is to really create more venues for our art to be displayed, to create more ways for getting staff development, and to really do more for the community and get more and get and do more activities so not only are our kids educated, but our community is educated. And that's it.
Tamara, please don't leave, because first of all, I'd like to say that I have seen you personally, professionally grow into this position, and you are now becoming really someone very special in your TOSA position. So thank you for your diligence and staying with this, because you have a lot to be proud of. But I know my fellow commissioners really probably have a few words they might like to say to you as well. Anyone on the dais?
Yeah, I echo that. You're doing amazing work. The district has come so far in like just even the last few years. And I attribute that to your leadership and direction as in this TOSA position. I'm really excited to hear about theater happening at T-Winkle with a professional theater instructor as it ties into Estancia. For those of you who don't know, that school has not had any theater at all. I think Arts and Learning did some things 4 or 5 years before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to build that program. So that was just so smart to utilize Prop 28 monies and make that happen. So that's excellent. And then just to hear about the continuous work that Kirk, Piazza, and Kelly Marchbank are doing. I mean, Costa Mesa, this district has some amazing arts instructors. So
We do.
I'm excited. The list, this is amazing. So congratulations.
Anybody else like to say anything? All right. Yes, Commissioner.
Yeah, it was so exciting to see the Costa Mesa students at Art Venture. I think it was, just really special. And I had an opportunity to speak with them, and they told me so many wonderful things about the program. I'm excited by the opportunity that Prop 28 will allow for our students and educators. And it's a great thing that you're doing. And let us know how we can support that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we hope to welcome you back in the spring,
Yes.
Tamara. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And we'll now move on to public comments. This is the time for matters not listed on the agenda to be addressed before the commission. Is there anyone here who would like to speak? All right.
Good evening, members of the Art Council. My name is Eileen Cirillo. I'm a resident of Costa Mesa, and I'm here this evening on my own as a volunteer with Segerstrom Center for the Arts Education Department. I know the Arts Commission is very involved in public art, and I just wanted to bring out that as a docent at the Segerstrom Center, we give tours. We give tours of Segerstrom Hall and the Renee and Henry Segerstrom Concert Hall. And within our tours, we do have several public works of art that we talk about, like the Richard Serra Connector, the Richard Lippold Firebird, the Sir Henry Moore reclining figure, and sometimes even the Mikua Utsuroshi, the sculpture outside of Samueli Theater. The Education Department realizes the importance of the public art, and we are in the process of developing an actual public art tour. I know Travel Costa Mesa at one time had some walking public tour, but we're in the process of developing a separate art walk tour that encompasses the ones that I mentioned, plus some of the artwork at the 650 Town Center Drive building, and then the ones at South Coast Repertory Theater in their patio area. We won't go as far as the Noguchi, California scenario, but we will make reference to it. But I just wanted to say that we're working with the city of Costa Mesa to promote the arts. And information on our tours can be, our public Art Walk tour probably won't launch until spring, but our regular tours are ongoing, and reservations can be made online at scfta.org, and then just scroll down and tours can be booked. So I just want to thank you all for what you're doing to promote the artwork in the city of Costa Mesa. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sorello, for your time. Ms. Fatua, is there anyone online who would like to address the commission?
There are currently no Zoom members on Zoom.
All right, thank you. Then we'll close public comment and move on to commissioner comments. And Ms. Mann, Commissioner Mann.
Hi, I just wanted to say that I'm really excited about all the stuff that was presented today. And we're going on the certificate for Elizabeth May Feltman. I actually live over in that area, so I would drive by all the time and see them sitting and like painting and doing this for the longest time. And I love now knowing the history of it, because I didn't know all of it. And I love seeing art everywhere. Also, I've been hearing so much about Costa Mesa High School and just Newport Mesa schools in general in the news and all over, and just as far as scholars and art programs, and it's really amazing. I think what Newport Mesa Unified School District has been doing in general with, is it Tamara? Tamara Ferrer, yes, she's wonderful. She's really great, and I love all of this stuff that I can't believe that list they have of all the things that they do for everybody. And I mean, there's a lot of schools. I was a PTA president for a while, so I went to all the schools. I went to all the little Seekerstrom Center and the orchestra. Yes. Anyways, I went to all those, and I love that the schools that we take the kids through there and show them everything. I'm really happy too about the collaborations between the colleges, the high schools, the elementary schools, Seekerstrom, and I think there needs to be a lot more of that, and I love that they're promoting all of that, because more art in schools and access to jobs and future careers in the arts is, I think, really important, and a lot of kids don't know that there are those opportunities, as she was saying. So I'm a big proponent of that, and thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, and the docent from Seekerstrom. I love Seekerstrom, and I just think there needs to be a lot more public art. And I love the private art that they have, and I love that you guys offer tours, and I'm looking forward to it. I know I went to Art Venture, and they took us around all over there, so that was great. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Wondercheck.
I'll just mention a couple of things, and I can share more at the end, but I wanted to make sure everyone knew that there is a Christmas holiday snowland happening at Balearic Park on Saturday, December 16th, for anyone who has children, or if you're an adult and you want to get into the snow. What's happening the 10th, December 10th, over at Segerstrom, there's more of a holiday around the world type concert happening outside on their arduous stage, and that's from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. So just want to encourage everyone to get out and see that. And of course, Snoopy House we already know about. And just for those of you online, that's December 15th through the 22nd. Actually, isn't it now? Does it start now already? Snoopy, okay, so it is the 15th through the 22nd. So everyone get out and see these wonderful events right here in the city.
Thank you. Commissioner Ochoa.
Yes, Laurette wanted me to speak on this because I mentioned it to her, but a couple months ago I was invited to attend a conference in Long Beach called Unexpected Connections. It's an annual conference that brings together innovative thinkers and doers from across industries. So they had everyone from venture capitalist firms to urban planners and artists. One of the presenters there was Robert Kleinheinz, whose work we're familiar with through the Otis Report. He just happens to be the director of Long Beach State Office of Economic Research. And in addition to him, actually, I found out economists are actually quite funny. So his presentation was not dry at all, and he made a point to illustrate that, you know, it's more than just numbers, to paint a broader picture. And I thought the presentation that he did, along with the variety of panelists, all their stories painted this broader picture and a more complete picture on how investing in innovation and creativity and the arts can serve as a catalyst for other parts of the city. Anyways, I left the conference inspired, and I feel like a lot of those ideas could easily be applied in our own city. So it's interesting to see what Long Beach is doing. And perhaps we can arrange a field trip next year, maybe invite staff or council members to also attend. And I just want to echo what everyone else has been saying about Newport Mesa School District. I mean, it's just an exciting time, and I feel like we're just getting started with all the really expansion of these programs. So really happy to hear about that in Tamara's report.
Thank you. Commissioner Derderian?
Well, everyone else has already said all the good stuff, but I'll just make a comment anyways, which is as someone who participated in far too many performing groups, musical and otherwise, in high school, I have many fond memories of Saturdays spent out marching or at jazz festivals or many different things. So it's wonderful to see all that's happening in Costa Mesa with the art grant that we were involved with, as well as the report from the Newport Mesa programs. So I'm just so encouraged and so pleased to see a thriving music program and drama program and beyond, performing program. And there's plenty going on. I'm sure we'll get into Art Venture later, but I was just so pleased getting to go. I unfortunately missed the evening program, but I was able to go during the day to the library and to the Herzog Center and see a whole lot. My children absolutely loved it. I still have papers all over the house from it and activities that are ongoing and a lot of drawing and coloring and other wonderful things. So I just want to offer my big congratulations to Ms. Garner and all staff and volunteers and partners that were involved with that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd also like to reflect on what an artful year we've had. This is our first full year as a commission. I think we've done a marvelous job. And we have a good team here, and we have wonderful staff. Whether it was an art crawl, or art venture, a scarecrow festival, there were so many opportunities this year. We recognize the hard work of our staff making this a success. So thank you. And we're really excited to go beyond policy and pushing out public art. So next year, there will be other great things. And I also want to send some kudos in the direction of Costa Mesa TV again. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Art Venture focus on the artists, but they are extraordinary. They bring you into the artist world. They have done a great job, and I hope that gets publicized and pushed out. It's been, the most recent one I think was Mariana Baker was out, and what a beautiful, the sculpture with, I don't know what she uses, but it was wonderful. So thank you to Costa Mesa TV. And also, we've been fortunate at the last City Council, we were there for the presentation to SCR for their 60 years in our city. And that is really an accomplishment to see a theater in your community for 60 years. And also the partnership that SCR is bringing to our senior citizens, as well as our SOY students. They will be, some of them are enjoying the Christmas Carol this evening, and others will be going tomorrow night. So that's a wonderful opportunity for low-income seniors and students. So thank you all. It's been a great year, and look forward to next year. So the next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from the October 5th meeting. Are there any corrections? If we have none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Wondercheck, seconded by Commissioner Ochoa. call for the question.
Motion carries
There we go.
5-0 to approve the October 5th, 2023 minutes.
Thank you very much. All right. Moving on to new business now. I'm sorry, we're still on old business. The murals on public property review. Ms. Gardner, would you bring that item before us now?
Thank you, Chair Ashendorf. So just really briefly, this is the document that I brought forward from our last meeting in October. I know it's been a little while, so there were suggestions that were made during the meeting, and so I made those edits as requested and highlighted the portions that were changed or added. So if everything looks okay, we can go ahead and approve those corrections.
All right. Everyone is in agreement that the changes have been incorporated in the document. Any other comments? This is an exciting final step of this part of the process of the cultural master plan. So with that, we'll entertain a motion.
I actually do have a comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you pop up here. Yes, Commissioner Ochoa.
I think the draft in October didn't define artist, and I know it seems this definition of mural artists and artists on page 1 of both the permanent public art on public property and the murals on public property, are more or less aligned with the report from the presentation prepared by Arts Orange County. And I guess my question is, would it be possible to have a broader definition of the artist, such as the one that was presented in the City of Pasadena Public Art Program? So I'll just read. So on page 1 of the murals on public property, a person who has established a reputation of artistic excellence in visual arts, as judged by peers, and so on and so forth. I guess my concern is that having outline established might be excluding talented artists at different stages in their careers. Do you want to discourage emerging artists? Or are there additional opportunities that we may direct them? And again, I think I'm just referencing it in contrast to the City of Pasadena Public Arts Program that was included. And this is also open to conversation with my fellow commissioners.
Looking for this.
So we're talking about artwork are the murals at this point? And we were stating, so your comment then was more or less about the emerging artist and allowing them to participate? That was the question?
Yeah, I think my question is, the definition of mural artists and artists in general in these two documents that Lorette has thoughtfully revised based on our last meeting is, having the word established might narrow the applicants.
Can
Yes,
I jump
please.
in real quick? Yeah, so I think what Commissioner Ochoa is saying is, so moving forward, as a city, when we start developing public art, we're going to need definitions, right? We need to know where we're coming from and how we're selecting art. So Commissioner Ochoa is suggesting that the definition that I've previously given from the Arts and Culture Master Plan and the Art and Public Places report, that we broaden and change that so that we can address and accommodate emerging artists. So the one that's in there currently is asking for people with a lot of experience in the arts, and that is something that we need to consider with bigger projects per se, and as project per project. But moving forward, I guess the big question for all of you is, what do you want that definition of an artist to be for the city? And do you feel that that's limiting to, some of the phrasing?
I personally feel that a large mural that we're investing in should most likely be an established artist as opposed to an emerging one, but maybe leave another project for emerging. We have, I don't want to limit it to the electric boxes, but if we have, with those types of art that is displayed in the city, it's more open to all levels. But something as big and as, costly, I would think as a mural would need to, from my perspective, be more of an established artist. But please share your thoughts.
Commissioner Mann?
Yes, I actually agree totally. I think that would be great to have another section that is emerging artists, and then to differentiate them and just say, this is established artist, this is emerging artist, so that that way we don't leave anybody out, but also, like you said, they have to check the little electronic box, and that would be really great to know. Then it wouldn't leave anybody out, but also it would let us know more about, who this person is or what they think they are as an artist. Thank you.
And that really does help support future artists
Yes.
in this community. I think that's really important.
Yeah, in the City of Pasadena Public Art Program, they define commissioning of artists at variety points in their careers, but whose work is of highest artistic merit and who brings innovation, artwork of all mediums and disciplines. Yeah, I think it's great that we're having this conversation because it is important to outline that.
I think that language is helpful. Yes, Commissioner Derderian.
What I was going to say too, perhaps in these definitions, we might be, or it might be more ideal to keep that broader definition, and then based on a per project, a basis, we can define or specify, make clear. Well, this is going to be a larger project. This requires more experience. Whereas there might be a smaller mural or just a smaller piece of temporary public art that wouldn't require that level of skill or experience perhaps in the past. So at least in the very basic overview that we have here,
Yes.
something more general might be ideal. Just a thought.
I think those are good suggestions to incorporate in the proposal here before us. Any other comments? No. Thank you very much, Commissioner. That was a good catch. All right, then, hearing anything else, any responses you have there? Lorette?
I was just going to say I could draft something and we could bring it back again for the next meeting.
That would be perfect.
How's that?
Because
Okay.
this isn't going to hold up anything, just to make sure that the language is clear.
Exactly.
Perfect. So then it's our recommendation that we bring it back, you'll bring this back to us in February. Is that correct? All right,
Correct.
all right. Then there wouldn't be any other action that we need at this time on that item? All right, that said, we will now move on to new business and address permanent public art on public property.
Thank you, Chair Ashendorf. So a couple of things to note with this document, similar to the murals on public property that we discussed. This process can be very similar to the murals on public property process document that we looked over in October. The difference between the two will be the kind of the price tag and the longevity of the permanent public art projects versus temporary mural projects. So the important things to look at for this process that are going to differentiate from the murals is the criteria of citing permanent public art on the first page. So these are the kind of things that I'd love for us all to look at. The other step-by-step pieces will be worked out with staff as we work on potential, new projects moving forward and explore how things might be funded in the future, or how we might create a program for murals and permanent public art on public property. It's a mouthful, sorry. And the two attachments, I just wanted to say a little bit about those as well. I added the City of Pasadena, the CIP, the Capital Improvement Project processes that's mentioned in the Costa Mesa Art and Public Places report that we've already looked at. So I just thought the details in this document were something that may come later down the road as we kind of establish public art. And then, let's see, the second document, I personally thought was a great example of what a call for artists would look like for a larger permanent public art process. So I just wanted you all to kind of take a look at that and see what that might look like on paper when we start kind of implementing some of these processes.
All right, thank you. A couple of comments. On page 1 of your attachment, we reference to enhance the aesthetics of specific areas, and the west side is highlighted there. And I want to make sure that, you know, when you look at areas like Segerstrom Center for the Arts, that has a, you know, focus on public art there. But we have 6 districts in our city, and we don't want to forget the other districts in our city as well. And also, we want to make sure that in future developments, whether it's Fairview Development Center or on the other side of the 405 freeway, that we're going to be ready to establish public art in all those areas, not exclusively one, you know, one destination or another. And that's all I have for now, if someone else would.
I do.
Commissioner Ochoa.
Laurette, do we have a CIP mandate for?
We do not.
Thanks.
And could you explain, that's on page 2 of how does this work? In other words, if we're doing a project at a park, is there a budget for the CIP that would go for arts? Is that how we're going to be looking at that?
So this is something that cities kind of address as like a larger program for public art. So these are kind of just things we're bringing up that will, you know, that a lot of other cities do. So a lot of cities will put a percentage of their, you know, their CIP projects towards art with that project. So, and then that kind of creates like a fund that creates, you know, the funding to do public art with these CIP projects. So this is just kind of an example of what a city has done. So Pasadena has done this. It's a pretty common, a lot of cities will kind of do this as a way to generate funds for public art as a program if that's the direction they want to go. And there's also cities that do percentage fees, and it can be anything really. There's not a set number. There's just a lot of kind of consistent behavior that I've seen in other cities. But some cities also do percentage for private development. So they'll ask private developers to put money aside for the projects that they do for public art. So there's just different ways. These are just kind of ideas that are kind of circulating for us since we don't have anything in place to generate any funds for public art specifically in that way. So there's just different, you know, ways to do it. And this is just, you know, like a suggested process if we, you know, as we move forward with some of these initiatives with the Art and Public Places report and Art and Culture Master Plan.
I think also, Laurette, what I hope that there's a part of here that says early public participation. And I think that's going to be critical as we move forward to ensure that the public is involved in whatever we move forward with this. I think that's an important component.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Laurette, for the City of Pasadena Public Art CIP projects. I think it's a great kind of reference.
Any other comments or recommendations at this point? All right. Seeing none, then we will make a motion. We don't have a motion. We don't need to make a motion on this, do we? No.
I don't think so. I think we just review it.
Yes, okay. And then we would move on this. This would also be brought back to us in the new year? All right, thank you.
Yes, I can make some of those changes we talked about and kind of maybe suss out some pieces that you all had questions about.
And then
I can bring it back.
And then also, we'll have the other commissioners at that meeting, and I think it'll be important to have their input as well as we move forward with the public art.
Agreed. Thank you, Chair Ashendor.
Chair, I'd like to also add a
Please.
few comments. I really like the idea of where this is going and including our capital projects. I think there's some internal conversations that we do need to have with our public works team, our finance team, and development services so that we can present to you a full package of what that would look like, whether it's, you know, adding additional development fees for the arts, or during our budget process that we're allocating funding towards projects that have an art component, similar to what we've done with other projects in the city with active transportation elements to them.
Perfect.
So it's definitely something that our team can work with the other departments, and then when we come back to you in the new year, we can provide you an actual plan.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes.
You're welcome.
All right, do I ask if there's any public comment on this item at this point, Ms. Fatua? All right, thank you, I'm sorry. I had that on my agenda, but I didn't move forward, okay. Then we will move on from new business item 1 to item 2, an update on the Arts Grant Program.
So I think for this, just real briefly, we kind of already went over this with all the presentations. So far, we've had 3 of the 4 grantees who received funding have presented to the Arts Commission, so that's great. And I just have one more that will probably bring back in early 2024 or spring. And just a little update, we have the new application will be opening in January of 2024, probably the first or second week of the month. And we have $7,500 to allocate for arts organizations and artists in Costa Mesa.
Thank you, and I hope that in the coming year, we'll do a really strong rollout, publicity, to make sure that this information gets out to potential grantees in the new year. Thank you very much. And now we are on your final report for the year, for this year.
Okay, so the Arts and Culture Staff Report. The first item on there is the Art Crawl experience. Okay, so just my brief notes from this night. I think overall it was a successful event. I think everyone had a good time. We had about 25 people, and we started at the Costa Mesa Playhouse and heard from all their fantastic volunteers about all of the work that they do there and how they program and, you know, kind of design their I'm missing the word, not their schedule, their plan, there's a word for this, their plan for the year. And so it was great to hear from all of them over there at the Costa Mesa Playhouse, and guests were treated to snacks and drinks as well there. The second stop was at the lab, where we heard from Linda Sadeghi, and she kind of gave a really fun story about how the lab was started, all of the creative components and some of the history behind that. And participants were able to stop and get some dinner there too, and some free ice cream. So it was really nice of Linda just to offer that. And then the last stop was for South Coast Repertory. And participants were treated to kind of an intimate review and discussion in their smaller Nicholas, I think it's the Nicholas Studio space, with H. Adam Harris. He's the Artistic Audience and Engagement Associate from the South Coast Repertory. And afterwards, participants saw a full production of Quixote Nuevo. So let's see. And the arts grant, I think we've done good work on this tonight, so I'm just going to move through this one. And Art Venture. So we did send out a survey for this, but overall, I think it was a successful event. We made some big changes this year. We had the artwork up for a lot longer than it was or has been in the past. And we did have the artwork up at the Norma Herzog. We had an award ceremony at ACMA. So the structure changed a little bit. But based on the surveys I received, most people really did enjoy having the artwork up for a longer period of time. And I think the award ceremony was a really beautiful setting at the ACMA Terrace. There was a little confusion with the schedule and kind of the location change, because in the past it's always been together, the artwork and the award ceremony. And then also I would say the Community Arts Day, I think it was, a lot of great things happened that day, but I was hoping for a little more attendance, so we're hoping by a change of date, this might remedy that. And we'll say October was an extremely busy month for Orange County and the city of Costa Mesa. We were doing a lot of things. So we're hoping to kind of, next year we plan to move the date. And this year what we did is we had the Community Day and the award ceremony were kind of like, before the exhibition opened. The exhibition came after. And so I think we're going to switch that. So we'll have the exhibition open with the Community Day and artist reception, and then we'll have it open for the week, and then an award ceremony at the end to kind of sandwich the exhibition. So we're hoping kind of those changes might remedy any confusion with scheduling from this year. And then we're going to move it to September. So it'll be a September 21st, and then we'll have the artwork up. I think it's going to probably start around the 12th and then be up until the award ceremony, and then up a day after the award ceremony. So that's kind of our plan with Art Venture as of now, but we have some time to kind of work on that. And hopefully next year, we'll kind of fix some of those little things and tweak it a little bit. And let's see, so. The Free at Segerstrom Center campus. So as was mentioned by Chair Ashendorf, we have started a pilot program that actually starts tonight, and with another showing of A Christmas Carol tomorrow night at South Coast Repertory. For this, we've targeted some audiences, as it was kind of a quick turnaround. We'll have participants from the Costa Mesa Senior Center and from Soy going tonight and tomorrow. And then we've actually arranged a shuttle for both nights for people to meet at the Senior Center and then drop them off and they'll pick them up. And so we're going to continue with this model for the year with different organizations as well, and we'll kind of roll out a schedule, and we'll work with targeted audiences and partners to see how that works, and then we can kind of reassess. And then next we have free park performances. I listed out all the free park performances we did this fiscal year. We had a nice year of a bunch of different free live performances offered in Costa Mesa, and the goal moving forward will be to program these probably from late spring, summer into fall, and then winter will be kind of a quiet month since it's a little chilly. We get cold here in California. So, but yeah, so moving forward, we'll just keep building on this program and see how it goes and try different locations. Oh, no, wait, I didn't have a slide for the Poet Laureate, but the Poet Laureate program is something, or the Artist Laureate program was something in the Arts and Culture Master Plan that we haven't rolled out yet. So that's something that we're working on. I've had a couple of conversations with Chair Ashendorf and Commissioner Derderian. This is, I think, a passion project for them. This is their wheelhouse. So we're going to start with a Poet Laureate, and we're going to try to do it over 2 years and have, that person be committed for 2 years and a sum for those for that time period. So what we'll do is I will bring something forward in February, like a plan for that, because we do have funds allocated for that program. And then public art. So we are getting ready to close the deadline for the utility box art program. We have 12 designs so far, and moving forward every year, we'll just kind of get them all approved in one meeting, in one fell swoop. So, and more on that at our next meeting in February. And then the butterfly garden sculptures, there's some pictures there on the screen. We were picking spots for them today, so it was really fun to see that come to fruition. And we're hoping to do a ribbon cutting ceremony in January, I believe, tentatively. So, and we'll be inviting you all to that. And then for this fiscal year, the money we have for the temporary sculpture garden that we've discussed that's in the Arts and Culture Master Plan, we're looking to prepare a site. So you probably won't be any art involved this year, but we're hoping, next year we can see how that goes, see what we've managed this year and move forward from there. And then a couple other things that weren't on my PowerPoint. I forgot them actually, but we have some postcards I put on the dais for all of you. There's an exhibition. We have a new exhibition at the Senior Center with Ellie Rose, and she will have a reception on January 10th for that on the second floor. And we'll have some music there and some refreshments. And then also I wanted to mention, for those of you who went to the Art Venture Community Arts Day, Juan Islas, he's a Costa Mesa High School alumni. He did some live painting on the Community Arts Day. And so we've put his artwork, he gifted it, which was so kind. He gifted his artwork. And so we're putting it up in the Aquatic Center in the Downtown Rec Center. So that should be up, I think. I think it's up now. We're working on that, so. And then also, as Chair Ashendorf mentioned, we do have those Art Venture videos online. So if you go to the Costa Mesa YouTube channel, we have 2 interviews that they've done. The Costa Mesa TV is going to do interviews with every award-winning artist from Art Venture. So they'll all be on that Costa Mesa TV YouTube channel. So I would definitely check those out. There's 2. We have the one from the People's Choice, Roland Escalona and Mariana Baker, and those are great. So definitely, I can send you all links as well, too, so as they come. And that should wrap up my Arts and Culture staff report. If you have any questions.
Let's open it up for comments. Yes, go ahead. Commissioner Ochoa.
Just want to thank you, Ms. Gardner and staff, for Art Venture and all the events that you put on this fall. It's tremendous, and I've had a blast at every single one I've attended. Art Venture was a full day of feel-good moments, too many to recount here. It was just really a special way to celebrate our community and bring people together.
Yes, Vice Chair Wondercheck.
I have to echo that. Ms. Lorette, you're doing a fantastic job. And I had the opportunity to go to the art crawl for the first time. It was a long day, but wonderful. It was actually fun. They made games and made it really fun. I was all getting competitive there, winning my little plastic prize, but I wanted that prize. So anyway, you made it a lot of fun, your whole team. Thank you all. And but overall, you're doing a fantastic job of bringing more arts to the city, so thank you.
Any other comments? Yes.
Hi, I wanted to also echo the same thing. I think you guys did such an amazing job this year. I'm just looking back at all the stuff on here. There really was just so much art, and I feel like I was exposed to so much more being part of this group and going and seeing that. And the art crawl was so great. It was my favorite. I loved it. And my daughter went to Art Venture during the day, and then I went to the awards ceremony that night, and it was so interesting. So she went to both. And it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing, her going. So I think she's so excited to go next year. I don't know if it matters what date you put it on. She's going to make time for it because she had so much fun. She made so much art, just like Jordan's daughter did. It was all over the place, but still at our house. I just looked at it yesterday. Still have all the stuff. And everything seems to be going really well. I think you guys are doing a great job, and I can't wait to go walk my dog and look at the butterflies tomorrow. I didn't know they were up, so I live right around the corner. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for a great year. You guys did great.
Commissioner Derderian.
Again, I just want to say congratulations, I think, on a wonderful art venture. Really enjoyed that day program. Getting to see all the performances was wonderful as well. And I was pleased as we walked through, weeks later, still seeing the chalk art around the library. I thought, here we have it. It's stuck around for at least a little bit longer. So congratulations again, Ms. Garner. I remember in our previous meeting, I believe, we were discussing emails. Collection of emails, or at least at some point this came up. And I was curious if you have a final number on how many emails we were able to collect. Do you know?
Do you mean for the People's Choice? Was it the People's Choice
Yeah, I think
Award?
so. I think you were...
We had, I think, like close to 3,000.
Fantastic.
I know. It was a lot of people voted. Yeah, it was fun to see.
Glad to hear that.
Real quick, sorry, I just wanted to say, Commissioner Mann, butterflies aren't up yet. They'll be up probably in the next week or two, right? Yeah? Okay. we're we were doing the posts and kind of getting it ready. So I don't want you to get too excited yet, but they're coming up, yeah.
I'd like to just ask a comment, a question for Art Venture. It seems to me that first of all, I do support changing the date. That makes much more sense. October was exhausting. And I also think that having the art on display first and then the gala afterwards will make a difference because people weren't trained for that. There was a real disconnect and there was a frustration. But I believe, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Garner, there was a decrease in the number of people who attended the gala. And I don't know if that was by choice or by confusion or what. And because I know in the past we've had 400 or 500 people squeezed into small spaces for the gala. And so I'm hoping that one of the things I heard over and again when I was at the Herzog Center was, but where is the art? So if there's something we can do creatively, like a scrolling somewhere at ACMA of the artwork, so the people who are there will feel like they're part of the gallery still, because we've done the virtual gallery anyway already. I think that will make a connection between the art that they've seen and the experience of the gala. That's my only concern, because it felt like a them and us kind of a thing, and it's really all about the artists and all about the celebrating of them. So if I could just add that comment.
Those are all great points, and I think we welcome everyone's input. As Laurette mentioned, this was the first time we kind of tested this new approach, but I think that we have some lessons learned, and I think with communication, getting folks excited about it, promoting, and really, educating folks of what our intent is and making sure that all aspects of Art Venture are well attended. So that is our hope, and we'll continue to work with you, the commission, and with our team to get us creative and to be able to really, reach out to our community and engage them and get them excited about this event.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes. All right. No other final comments before we adjourn?
Yes.
I thought you said you wanted to say something, Vice Chair.
Yes. So I handed out a postcard. Would you mind handing it back to me? There's going to be a big production for Martin Luther King weekend, which is January the 13th. It is an event called Music of the March, and this is a retelling of his life story in a musical review, from childhood all the way till the assassination, and then after that, how that holiday came into existence. Yours truly is the producer of that. So that's going to be at the Irvine Barclay on January 13th, and I'd love to have everyone come out, but it is really a time of unity and bringing everyone together, because that was Dr. King's dream. So it's going to be a beautiful production happening January 13th. And outside of that, I am looking to see about bringing a Black History Month type of day celebration event here to Costa Mesa with artists and vendors. We're looking at February, but I'll tell you this right now, if it doesn't happen in February, the month of June is actually African American Music Month. Mm-hmm. So I'm almost thinking that's when it should happen. I've got too much going on. But anyway, just want to let you know these things are coming, and it's adding to our beautiful city of the arts. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. If there are no other comments,
I know everyone wants to go home. Well, it's a great time of year to shop local and support artists here in our city. This past weekend, the OCC Ceramic Department and artists at location 1980 had their annual holiday sale. And I also attended one at Costa Mesa Ceramics. They had a wonderful variety in their market, as well as Santa. If you don't want to wait in lines, these smaller markets are the way to go. If anyone else maybe someone in the public is watching and they're like, oh, I have a sale going on. I would encourage you to please utilize the Costa Mesa Arts Calendar and to help promote that. And with that, happy holiday and peace to all.
So finally, Ms. Garner, we will be adjourning to February. So before that occurs, I wanted to ask you, since we will have finished out a year's term and no one is expired at this point. No one is expiring, okay? We're all alive as we go into 2024. So, but I assume you will agendize an election of a new chair and a vice chair for the February meeting.
Yes, this is correct.
Okay, fine. Just want to make sure we're all prepared for that. And with that, thank you all. What a wonderful year. We are blessed in the City of the Arts. Happy New Year.